Hi everyone, this is Nate for Real Smart. I'm here with Steve Osborne to talk about the documentary I've just watched, Die Hard, 1998 film about the average day of a New York City policeman. And here is Steve Osborne, who was. Well, why don't you tell us, Steve? Tell us a little bit about where you're from and what you do.
I was a New York City police officer for 20 years. Mm-hmm. I was a lieutenant. Mm-hmm. I was in a gang squad, fugitive division.
Yep. Wow.
Plain clothes, out running around, patrolling Manhattan in a yellow taxi cab. Did a lot of interesting things.
Mm-hmm. And the years you did this was
83 to 03.
Okay.
Back in the bad old days.
That is
New
the
York
series.
City,
Yes. If there's one thing I learnt from Die Hard, is that being a policeman in the 80s was quite difficult.
Yes, very different than now.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, there was a lot of well, I'm sure you experienced some of it. Like, I'm sure you've you've had to sort of run after criminals.
Sometimes every day.
Chase them, maybe throw them out a window because you want to get the other cops' attention and stuff like that.
The police department frowns on you throwing guys out of windows.
Okay, so it doesn't happen.
No, so you try not to do that.
Right, so John McClane probably got in a lot of trouble.
He would have gotten a lot of trouble. I could see him getting a civilian complaint over that one.
What are the reasons that a police officer could throw someone out of a window, maybe?
I don't know. Maybe if the building was on fire.
So that was happening, and that makes sense. That was happening. The building was on fire because the roof.
As long as you're on the first floor.
Yes. All right. Yeah. What if you need to do it so they land on another cop car because you need help from that other police officer?
Better have a good aim.
Yes, luckily, because he gets it right on the... I couldn't believe it myself, because what are the odds? They're very high up. Again, it's always about thinking on your feet.
That's right.
It's always
fast.
Yeah, it's always about being prepared. And then next thing you know, you're using a terrorist's dead body to signal the police.
Yeah.
And it's about being
Well,
smart.
they cut the phone lines.
That's right.
Let's be fair.
And yeah, I think...
They cut the phone lines, and here he is. He's trying to call for help, and...
This is before cell phones.
You use what you have.
Yeah. And if all you've got is a dead guy...
Out the window he goes. It's
not just a documentary about the job. It's also a documentary about the way the job affects your home life. Because as we see, Officer John McClane, who I can't find anywhere. I've been calling the NYPD for months trying to find this guy. He has a sort of strained relationship with his wife.
As many of us do.
Right, yeah, I was going to say, is this
it's part of the job, working those crazy hours and stuff. Yeah, it does strain your relationship at home.
And you are married?
Yes.
And you've been married for?
24 years.
24 years. Okay, so you were married while on the force?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
First 10 years I was married, I was never home.
Wow.
Yeah.
It must have been hard, right?
Yeah, it was hard for her. Yeah, I was never there for 10 years. I was never home. I was always out running around the streets in the middle of the night, chasing some murderer, a rapist, a robber, a drug dealer.
Yeah.
And it's tough on your home life.
I can imagine. Was there ever someone like holding her hostage like this and you had to shoot the guy in the head to save her?
No, I can't remember anything like that.
That never came up?
No.
Never. Did you ever have to, was there ever the bad guy holding onto her watch right at the end? And you had to unbutton the watch, and he flies down, and then you kiss her in the limousine.
We kissed in a limousine, but nothing with a terrorist hanging off a watch that I can remember.
So half.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
When you've got a gun at someone, is it normal to say, "Hey, dickhead, it's the police"?
Yeah, you don't want to say that.
Have you ever called 911 and said, "Does it sound like I'm trying to order a fucking pizza"?
No, never did that either.
Never come up. All right, I guess these must have been a lot of one-offs. Like throughout the whole movie, he's sort of on the radio saying yippee-ki-yay. Have you ever said yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker?
No, I never thought of it, but... and then after he said it, you couldn't say it because it was used.
How many things have you blown up?
No, I never really blew up anything either. I'm starting to feel like I had a pretty boring life compared to John McClane.
Which parts were most relatable for you, I guess, is the question. Which did you see and you were like, I know that feeling?
Very little, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, real police work is not like Die Hard. Like if you're a young guy and you're watching Die Hard and you say, that's what I want to do for a living.
Yeah.
And then you go through the police academy and you find out that a lot of police work is pretty boring.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's the majority of it?
Well, there's an old saying, it's 99% of it is routine and boring, and then 1% is sheer terror. And when he jumps down the elevator shaft, I'm not crazy about heights. I would have called timeout right there.
So yeah,
I'm not
then
jumping down the elevator shaft.
You would just straight up be like, I'm not going to do that.
Stand my ground. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen, but I ain't going down that elevator shaft.
I guess, yeah.
Or the vent.
You couldn't do the vent?
No. I don't like tight spaces. I don't think I would have crawled in the vent either.
I haven't seen the other documentaries, but this just seems to keep happening to this police officer. As far as I know, this happens like another 4 times.
Right.
But
those are guys that we call shit magnets.
Okay, so that is a thing.
Shit just happens to them. There's certain guys, shit just happens to them.
Have you ever had your own personal, like, die hard day where you were just like, geez, this just keeps getting bigger? This is crazy.
Nothing like that. Nothing where terrorists were taking over a building.
Okay. What would the closest thing?
What would be the closest thing? I mean,
was they just took over a bus? Or?
I guess one. I was sitting having my coffee one night, and right across the street, 5 guys come up, pull out a gun, start shooting into a club. Start blowing off rounds into the club. Everybody outside's running and scattering, and coffee goes out the window. We start chasing them. I catch those guys. So we take 5 guys for attempted murder.
Wow.
And then while we're in the station house processing that, some girl comes in and says, 2 guys just kidnapped my friend. And next thing I know, I'm involved in a kidnapping case. So by the end of the night, I had 5 collars for attempted murder, 2 collars for kidnapping.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was a busy night. I guess I was kind of born into it a little bit. My father was a cop, so I saw it as a little kid.
Yeah.
I used to go, I used to ride my bike to the station house where he worked. And I'd go in there, and like we were saying before with the hours, I mean, it would go a week, I'd never see my father.
Yeah.
He'd be working nights. I go to school during the day. He's working 4 to 12s or whatever. I'm in bed by the time he gets home. I'm off to school by the time he gets up, and there would be a week that would go that I wouldn't see him. So sometimes I would ride my bike over to the station house and hang out with him, and hear all these cool guys in the station house and this crazy life, and I'm like, this is the life for me.
Wow. And I guess.
So I got to see the life from the inside out, and I just thought it was just a cool, exciting life.
And was it?
Yes.
Do you have any final sort of words you want to put out there? Anything you want to say to anyone who may have seen this documentary, who may not have got the full story, or anything like that? Or
anybody who's seen this and they think that this is like a regular day-to-day thing that happens to us, I hate to disappoint you, but nah, not really.
Okay. Have you ever put a Christmas hat on a dead body and written a message on it and sent it down in an elevator to scare someone?
No.
This is Nate for Real Smart. This is Steve Osborne. Thank you so much. Enjoy the movie. Great. Was that okay?
Yeah, it was good.
All right, thank you.
I can't wait. So you're going to edit that down to 5-10 minutes?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, send me a copy.
I had so much fun. It's been great hanging out.
This could be a good idea.
Yeah, I think so. Thank you. It's a huge vote of confidence, Steve.
Well, it's still early. I got to see the edited version.
Yeah, that might be.